What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I had a ton of fun going through stuff yesterday. We got $500 out of the ATM yesterday, or I did, and then we went through it, found a nice tombstone note, which I actually had never really used that term. I appreciate it, super apt, and I love it, so I'll keep using that. It's definitely the correct name for what I found. So check out that video if you're wondering what a tombstone note is. But I got $600, one-up myself a little bit. Let's go through it. I won't take a ton of time per note. You can check out my other videos if you want to learn, in this case, everything about $20 notes. If you're new to the channel, what the heck are we doing? We look through money on my channel, primarily paper currency, like the bills that are already in your pocket, and I show you stuff you can look for on them that makes them worth more than their face value. So even if you're not into collecting coins, banknotes, any collectible really, you probably like making money. And that's the great thing about this hobby, is you can turn the money you already have into more money. So let's get to it. Right off the rip, I can see we got a little excess ink here coming through from the back. You can see that right above the serial number. Now, if it's dramatic and obscuring parts of the note, that can be worth some moolah over face value. This one's really beat up. We got some free blood up here in the corner, so that's going to detract from value for condition. Always something to keep an eye out for. Kind of a cool serial number. A bunch of 5s, some 3s action, but nothing crazy. 2017 A. Keep an eye out on kind of intricate print points, so where a lot of ink is put down. You can also see where this serial number is kind of protruding through the back a little bit. I have seen in some cases where people sell ones where you can read the whole serial number through the other side of the bill. And those go for 20-30% above face value, which is pretty sweet. Nothing going on the last couple. Nothing going on there. There we go. Good example of it. You can see kind of an ink smear. Oh, if I'll show it to you in the camera. Ink smear there below the 0 and the 20. You know, I'm not saying you couldn't get a couple bucks over face value as it is to the right person. But they have to be pretty dramatic to sell for like hundreds. 2013 series. If you want to know about like this Fort Worth little indicator and kind of your federal district indicators, your seals, and what makes up the notes, then like I said, go to my other videos and you'll see everything you need to know. Also, hop in the comments. Let me know what you're coming across lately in your collectible searches for comic books or vinyls, cassettes, movies, of course, currency, whatever you're into. If you know me at all, if it can be collected, I collect it. This one's got some funky fun stuff going on. Keep an eye out around the color shifting ink points, which is the little eagle here in the shield, and then this 20 here, as well as other anti-counterfeit points. But if you have what's called a contaminated inkwell, you'll notice these colors are not going to be correct. Typically speaking, they'll be more of a dark green to almost black. It does get caught a lot of the times, and then they're replaced with star notes, which are cool. But if you find one of those, you can get good money, usually selling for about $40 to $100 depending on condition. Nice little date note. It is a birthday note. You know, somebody was born the year 1038, but May 29th, 1038. I like to stick in U.S., kind of, you know, historical, at least 1776 and beyond. Sometimes I'll go, you know, later on. This one's kind of cool. I'm going to set it aside because it's the only find we've had so far, but it's a nice birthday note, although super old. And in the condition it's in, I wouldn't say it's worth over face value, but still collectible. 2013 series, best condition we've had so far. If you want to know the breakdown of the serial numbers, go to my site, varietyerrors.com. I got a ton of free stuff on there. Over 4,000 pages of free information on coins and banknotes and collectibles. Nothing going on there. Bookends here, 7-4 and then 4-7. That's pretty cool. If we had the same digits in the middle, I would have held on to it. This one's also got a tear down here. 1, 2, 3, no 4, 5, 6. So we're missing a few digits to have a ladder note. Little, looks like ballpoint pen there on that top left serial number. So don't be confused there. For a second, I was like, hey, we got an ink smear, but it being that kind of dark gray color, I know that's not a tone used in the printing of currency here in the U.S. Some 8s, nice start to the serial number, but nothing calling home on the end. Somewhere close by, though, a couple digits off, somebody's got a really nice collectible serial number. And nothing going on the front. 2013. This one's been wet. You can tell from the blurring and the signatures. That's a good indicator that the note... And then if you look on the back here, the discoloration's browning out. And then this wrinkling here is always an indicator that it's probably in somebody's pocket or whatever, or dropped in some water. But got moist. And then the kind of durability and the color of the bill is kind of compromised at that point. Nothing jumping out on the back. Nice 7878. Look for repeater notes, serial numbers with repeaters like that. If something was going on in the beginning, like 2727, then 7878 would have been a dual repeater. That would have been nice. So keep an eye out for those. They usually sell for a bit over face value. Really good serial numbers, for example. Hey, we got a nice bit of wet ink transfer. So I can tell that's the case because you can see how the ink actually sits atop parts of the note rather than being a bleed through from the other side. Wet ink transfers are just that. When they cut them from the sheet, cut all the bills off and stack them, they'll kind of do it prematurely because they're pumping them out. And some wet ink from, in this case, the front of the note behind it transferred over a bit. When it's really dramatic, obscuring parts of the note, those can sell for a good premium. And nothing going on there. I think I was talking about something else, but whatever. Kind of straight off seeing that excess ink. Keep an eye out for star notes as well. Of course, those are always great and really collectible. People love star notes. And, they're announcing the end of the penny. They're changing up to LEPI system of printing for pretty much everything now. And we'll see less and less star notes over the next few years, so I like to hold on to every one of them I can. If you are interested in coins, my new book is out. It's over 800 pages of all things U.S. coins, to include gold coins, stuff for the military, stuff for the space program, Native American coins, the women's series of coins. So I tried to cover basically everything U.S. coin related. The physical book is $20, but it's, again, over 800 pages. It's like telephone book sized. But the digital copy is only $4.99, so a little cheaper than some of the other books because I'm a, no-name writer, but it does have prices, a complete error coin guide, and all that stuff. Nothing else jumping out, some 5s, some 1s. I know I didn't really say much about those last bills, but nothing collectible. Lots of a little bit of excess ink, but as you can see, we've seen it on probably 10 different bills in this case, and so it's pretty common. If it's dramatic, then of course it can be worth a little bit of value. 0726, the year 9362. Keep an eye out around the repetitious 20s and then kind of intricate detail points. Those are always good. As you can see here, oldest one we've seen in a while, 2004, I believe. 2003? Was the first year of the newer 20, this 20. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. They are redesigning all the U.S. bills, though, for various reasons. I cover that in another video. But in this case, this one's sitting a little high. It's not an error, but keep an eye out for misaligned prints or miscuts, which is where it most likely would miss part of the note. And this one's just beat to all get out. It is 20-something years old, though, so it lived much longer than they say 20 should live. Here we go, little ink smear, minor ink smear. If you notice right here, and right here, and right here. So it is actually on another portion of the note. Very small. It's the right toning, it's the right ink color, so I would say it is a small ink smear. Most likely one of those wet ink transfers. They kind of over-inked one of the plates, and then when it printed, it just had a little excess, kind of your printer does when it gets excess print left on the rollers. So, I mean, it's small. It could be worth a couple bucks over face, but is probably collectible. I'll set it aside. Interesting. Little bit of a misprinted serial number. Light inked. You can see it's just kind of thinned out, and then you got a little extra something on the top of the 3. It's not dramatic enough to hold on to, but definitely keep an eye out for it. And this bad boy is in great condition, even with this little bend in here. So probably the nicest banknote we've seen so far. We're down to the last 80 bucks, so I appreciate if you stuck with me. I know it's Memorial Day weekend. You're probably itching to go out and hang out with your buds, your family, your loved ones, you know. Hopefully you're just being safe out there, you know. Keep the alcoholic drinks limited if you're going to be operating a car or boat or something, but have a heck of a time, man. Nothing else going on that one. Nothing on the front of this bad boy. Think I see a little bit of something. Sounds like an ambulance is going by, so you might get a little noise in the background. 2009 series also beat up. Thought we had a little misprint here, but I forgot that Timothy Grantham puts his middle initial in his signature on the bills. Nothing else jumping out. Last but not least, we got ourselves a nice trashed up 2013 note. Keep an eye out for 2013 and 2017 $20 notes with over inks or excessive ink in the serial number. Those are common, but if you get one that's actually affecting dramatically or the whole serial number, you could be sitting on $40, $60 off of one of those. Nothing jumping out on the reverse of the note. So what are we holding on to? Some small finds. I'd say they're collectible, not valuable. This one's got a very minor ink smear, very small. But I'm going to hold on to it because I don't need the 20 bucks right now. And I don't get a lot of ink smears, even minor ones like that are atop other portions of the note. So I do like it, but I would say it's just going to be an add to my collection. And then we got our guy here. Again, more collectible. I'll look up if something cool happened in the year 1038. Who knows? Maybe something really stellar happened on May 29th of that year. I'll look it up and put that in a comment or in the description. But I'd say we just got a couple collectible ones. Nothing too crazy. So hopefully you guys had better luck in your coin and banknote searches lately. Let me know in the comments below. Follow the links in the comment that's pinned at the top to go to my website. It's completely free. You don't have to buy anything. And I just took all of my older books and ebooks and guides and made them free. And you can download my new ebook for like $4. So hopefully you have a great holiday weekend. I hope you find all the money, all the collectibles you want, and you just become rich this weekend. Let me know in the comments on Monday if that happens. Otherwise, good luck in your treasure hunts, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.